Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, I guess. Kind of weird thing to say, honestly, but I'm trying out this podcasting and I don't know, maybe I just have a lot to talk about. And today I want to talk about friendships, but I have like three different podcast episodes that I lined up and I did like a little brief outline and like put all the points that I wanted to talk about. But I don't know, like now looking back at it, I'm a little bit uninspired. I'm like, this is not something I want to talk about at this moment. So I'm probably just going to scrap it. But I'm going to talk about friendship today because I don't know. I want to give you guys my take on my friendship experience over the years and what tends to work for me and what I value in a friendship and how it has kind of evolved over the years of growing older and realizing that these are the qualities I would never trade for anything else in a friendship and how important that is, honestly. And I'm inspired to talk about friendship specifically because I think in the last couple of weeks, I have just been so much happier mentally because I have like friendships in my life that I would literally trade an arm for because sometimes I don't understand how come there's people like so amazing in my life that I'm like, that's insane. That's honestly like a blessing. You know what I mean? And I guess it only makes sense for me to start from the beginning. Starting from, I guess, let's not go all the way back to like kindergarten because that's just a little bit irrelevant, but we can start in high school. Back in high school, I've never been the kid that had a lot of friends. I'm not saying like I'm the kid in the corner being weird with like Cheeto fingers, but I'm the type of like person with like a small friend group or like one-on-one friendships. And I don't really do group friendships. And it's not by choice. Like I genuinely never go like, okay, I just want like small little friend groups. Like I don't want everybody want to like a big friend group. And I had those like for brief moments, but they were never like a long time. But I remember in high school I had like a cute little like 5 people friend group and it was working out very well and the vibes are vibing and everything. But then one of my best friend till this day, she moved to Canada. So then I was like, oh fuck. I feel like the vibe just changed. And then the group kind of just fell apart. And I was just close to these 2 girls in high school. And now looking back, it's kind of weird because I feel like I didn't really have anything in common with them. I don't know. Like maybe I did back then because like we went to the same school and we had like same classes and like we would talk about our everyday lives that were like school, you know? But I feel like outside of that, there really wasn't much substance, but I didn't know better, you know? So I obviously stuck around and it was scary, like in high school, to be sitting alone at lunchtime or like walking around without like anybody. That's fucking terrifying. Coming from someone that has like I don't even know. I don't want to diagnose myself, but I'm pretty sure that was like severe social anxiety to a point where I was like Googling my symptoms being like, oh my God, like, are you okay? Something's really off. And I bet you no one else feels this way, but you know? Anyways, I can talk about that on another episode. I was just so in my own world and I just like didn't feel comfortable talking to anybody in school except like the people that I was familiar with, which is like 2 people. And if God forbid they did not go to school that day, I was ready to skip school and pretend I was sick. I was ready to draft an email to the principal and be like, hey guys, I can't do that. Like, sorry, dying here. Here's my mom's signature. Please, like, do not let me go to school. Please, please, please. And if I had to go to school and I couldn't like get my way out of that, I would go to places around the school that had nobody. Like genuinely nobody. Like I would go to my school and I would just sit in the corner of the library or I would sit in the bathroom because I'm like, I absolutely fucking hate recess or lunch. Like that thought of it makes me sick without my friends. Like I'm gonna have to do that alone. No, I'm not sitting in the cafeteria alone with my tray of food. No, thank you. Absolutely the fuck not. Like high school is so scary. Like till this day, I still think high school is terrifying. I'm sure a lot of you could relate to that because I'm sure not everyone had a good high school experience. Okay, and that's me included. So I had these 2 good friends. And now looking back, I'm like, they're not somebody that I would like naturally be friends with. I feel like we were literally just friends out of proximity. I didn't connect with the people in my school at all. Like I'm just gonna say it feels like we're from different planets. I don't know why, I don't know what it is, but like I just could not understand people. And the 2 girls that like I was friends with were the people that I could probably relate with the most, even though like now looking back with with the friendships that I have in my life, I feel like we probably would not be able to hit it off. But back in the days, I was like, okay, like at least I found them, you know? So I'm grateful for that. But yeah, like I was this extremely like shy kid that like had mad social anxiety. Like picture the anxiety little character in Inside Out, like genuinely taking over the entire console. That's how I felt about social interaction. I don't even know why. Like I don't know why. Like it doesn't make sense. Like I was never like bullied or anything, you know? Like there was never like trauma that I remember bad enough that would make me act this way. So yeah, and I had like this horrible like social anxiety that like I hated, and I didn't think my friendships were fulfilling. I feel like the only thing I can name right now where it was like they kept me company in school and like I didn't have to be alone. But it was never kind of friendship that I felt appreciated. Like it didn't feel like a fulfilling friendship is all I'm gonna say. Like I just feel like some of them were one-sided. High school was like great for like 1 year when I had that little like friend group situation. That was actually great. But I actually now looking back, realizing that like I wasn't even like close with every single person in the friend group. And that's like one thing about friend groups that I may not like, even though I've wanted like a big friend group my entire life. And maybe I still do now, but I don't know. Like I feel like I'm more comfortable with my way of like making friends and I'm not trying to force anything. But the pattern I notice is like whenever I'm in friend groups, I don't really connect with each one of them, which is kind of crazy for me because I'm like, how do we call each other friends when like I probably couldn't even like sit alone with you having lunch together? Like we could, but like it would be a little awkward, you know, or like it wouldn't be like this super comfortable and like we're kind of just doing whatever. Like I'd never have to care about how I'm being perceived or like how I should be kind of not stepping on eggshells, but kind of just like making sure the other person's comfortable and like having this like a little bit of stress. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, like I just can't comprehend having a friend group where I'm not close with every single one of them in the group for longer enough, like our friendship's long enough where we could develop that. Because I feel like for friend groups, they have never really like lasted for me. Like they're kind of just like this temporary thing where like because we're all in the same school, or like oh because we all went to the same uni, or like because we all went to the same like club, whatever, like in school, then like we would be friends. But it's never like this, like it never felt like fully chosen is what it is. Like it just kind of happens and I'm like, okay, I fuck with like 2 people in the friend group, but everyone else like I don't really know that much about you, you know? Like I understand the vibe you bring to the friend group, but I don't understand you like individually, you know? And that feels like that's just like weird to me because what do you mean? Like after high school is when I went to uni and I was thinking to myself, okay, I'm not really like feeling fulfilled with my friendships here and I'm not sure if my social life is popping off and I'm not sure if I like it. So I told myself, I'm like, well, if I'm moving from Hong Kong to San Francisco, that's where I went to school, I might as well just like start my life over completely. You know, nobody knows me, so I can just reinvent my identity, if you will, as much as I could. But not really. Okay, it wasn't even drastic, but in my head it was drastic. But like outwardly, I look like the same fucking person. Probably dresses the same too. So like people outside can't tell, but I can tell. I went to uni and obviously I was still shy as fuck. And I remember having like these incidents where like my social anxiety would flare up and I would like not know how to act and I would just go hide in the bathroom. Like, or like there was like this orientation thing and I obviously didn't know anybody first because like I just got there. And I would just not know where to sit because everyone looked like they were sitting in groups and I was just like honestly shitting my pants. And I'm like, I can't handle this. Like I'm overstimulated as fuck. Like I will probably explode in stress if I don't leave this room right now. So I did. And then I don't ever go back. Yeah, so good luck finding me in social situations. It's not happening. This bitch is gonna Irish exit out of her way. Like, I can't even help it. I want to socialize. Trust. Like, I trust me. I want to make friends so bad, but I just can't. But what's funny was like all this changed for me in second year when I met like one friend and then she introduced me to her other friend and then her friend introduced me to her friends and then it's like this web of friends that I've made through like one person. Maybe that one person had just like so many connections. She is kind of like the extroverted social butterfly that would like adopt you because that's the only way in. Like literally that's the only way in because like by yourself, no way. Absolutely no fucking way. I'm not going up to talk to a stranger. Never happened before. Actually, it has now, but like before, no. Fucking no. Absolutely the fuck not. But yeah, after meeting her, I suddenly have like 15 friends. And I'm like, what the hell? This is crazy. I've never had this before. How do I? But then it's weird because I want to interact with these people, but like instead of feeling drained, I felt more or less like energized. And I've never felt that from social interactions in my life, like ever. Like I've never had a friendship where I can like be in the room with them for maybe 6 hours and not want to like rip my hair out. But I did experience that in uni and I'm like, that's crazy. And I wasn't even acting like the version of me in high school at all. Like I just naturally started becoming this super extroverted girl and I would just talk to everyone. Also discovered alcohol. That's probably why. But yeah, I would talk to everybody and I would make friends because I already had friends. Like it was weird cuz the fact that I knew I had friends already that were like quite good friendships in uni, I started becoming a lot more confident. I'm like, okay, if my friends like me, I'm sure everyone else would possibly like me. So I'm not anxious anymore. And I don't mind talking to people. And I'm kind of just like, I immediately became this like social butterfly that I don't even fucking recognize myself. I'm looking in the mirror. I'm like, how do you have three sets of people to hang out with in 2 days, Saturday and Sunday? And then every day after school, you're meeting up with another friend to go to the cafe, or meeting up with a friend to go grocery shopping, or meeting up with a friend to study at their place and make ramen afterwards. Like I just had people around me 24/7 and it just all happened so quick and naturally. But saying all that, my first year of uni was horrible because I was so shy and like crippled. I basically just stayed in my room and I ordered Chipotle every single day. That's my first time discovering Chipotle. It was so good. And I had the same order of burrito and I would just like sit on my bed and eat it and watch shows and just think to myself, oh my God, I cannot wait to have friends soon. Like uni sucks. Like what the hell is this? This feels like boarding schools, but like more serious. I don't know. But once I made friends, it was so different. I was never in my room. I was always out. I was always like making plans with people all the fucking time. And I remember too, like as soon as I come back to my dorm, I would have like a moment to myself and be like, okay, what do I have to do now? Okay, I have to get ready. And then I have to pack this little bag because I'm staying over at my friend's house. And then I have this one assignment due. And I have about 2 hours to do that. And then I have to shower and then I have to get ready and then I have to do my makeup and I have to pick my outfit and then I have to be out the door by this time. And like it's always like that. I've never really had a time to like sit in silence by myself, except when like I had to work on my assignments. But then even then I would literally be like, hey girlie, do you want to go to the cafe? I want to sit there for like 8 hours and finish my thesis project. Are you down to come? And then we go. Like literally never alone. And all my friends live like less than 10 minutes away from me. Actually, no, that's a lie. Some of them were like a little farther, but I was able to always hit up somebody because everybody was like in the same proximity. I could just walk down the hill or like walk 30 seconds and my other friend is like right there, you know? It was perfect. And I became like this super like confident. I wouldn't say I'm like super confident, but I was just like extroverted. And I remember I don't know who said this, but like one of my friends, like we were talking and friend was like, oh, like what were you like in high school? Like compared to now, like what were you like in high school and how are you different now? And we were just talking about it and I would say like, oh yeah, I used to be mute. Like I literally those Facebook status that people write and like TBH, I think you're blah. Like they would write down your wall. For me, it's always I think you're super quiet, but you seem cool. Or like, I wish I get to know you more. We should talk more. Like it's always that because I don't fucking talk to anybody, but I also have no enemies. So everyone's just like, oh, like who is she? Oh, okay. Like I think that's the impression that I gave. So when I told my friend that, my friend was like, what the hell? Like, what do you mean? Like, I can't imagine you being introverted. That's just like not something that I can process in my head because you're bubbly and social and you're always going out and doing things. What do you mean you used to be lame? Actually, no, they didn't say that, but I said that. So that just got me thinking, like, how could I have done like a 180? It was never that hard for that change. Like, it just came so naturally. So I started thinking, like, okay, maybe I'm not an introvert. I genuinely, growing up for the first 16, 18 years of my life, I was thinking, I am the most introverted bitch out. I do not want to talk to anybody. Trust me. Maybe not even the people that I am friends with. Like, leave me the fuck alone. I like to be alone and I like to shut the fuck up. I like all of you to shut the fuck up, but that doesn't happen. So I will walk away so I don't have to deal with that. Like, that's like how it is for me. I don't know why that is. I don't think I necessarily hated people. I just like don't like to open my mouth, okay? I don't like to talk. Just have nothing to say. I rather just like observe and watch people. I don't like to talk. I don't like to be involved. But then that all changed. And I'm like, okay, clearly I'm not an introvert fully as much as I thought I was, because I get energy from hanging out with people. Like, what the hell? You know? So I think I'm like in the middle. Actually, I don't know what those like extrovert, introverted terms even mean anymore. But I think if I like you and I fuck with you, I'm an extrovert. If I don't like you and I feel uncomfortable, even though I usually don't know why I feel uncomfortable, I'm an introverted person that you don't want to be around, because I'm going to give off weird energy because I feel weird. So I can't hide it. But yeah. So if you're getting a good side of me, it means I like you. And I honestly have no control over that. It's frustrating because there's so many times in my life where I'm like, I want to be friends with these people. They seem cool. And then my energy's fucking off. You know, I show up and I suddenly forgot how to talk. I'm like, I want to go home. Please take me home. I don't know how to act. Like, I feel like my hands are moving too much. What if they think I'm weird? Like, I don't know. But then when I'm around the people that like makes me feel comfortable right off the bat, like we're giggling, laughing, kicking our feet, you know? And it's always been like that for me. It's either this or that. I mean, there's some that were in the middle, but I think growing up, I've learned more social skills. So I'm able to interact with people that I may still be drained by, but like I obviously am not going to act weird and awkward. Like it'll still come off as like normal interaction. But like when I go home and I'm like, all right, bitch, I think you need a nap because that was fucking draining. Now in my life, I have like 3 to 4 super, super close people, and I would not trade them for the world. Like they feel like friendships that are impossibly good, that I could not have never been able to comprehend as a 16-year-old, being like socially anxious in uni. Sorry, what? Socially anxious in high school. I would never been able to comprehend like this level of friendship that I have right now. So I'm grateful, but that's a crazy switch up. You know what I mean? Because I never cared about friendship. I'm like, it's whatever. Like, it's people that I see every day. Like, cool. Like, I'm not never like, oh my God, like, I would die for you. Never. But like in uni and post uni, I've made friends like that. And I've realized how amazing that is. And it's almost sometimes like they feel so close to you that they feel like family, you know? Like, I feel like they've seen almost all sides, not all sides, I guess no one has ever seen all sides of you, but close enough to a point where like you can consider them like your brothers and sisters. Like that's how deep my level of friendship is. And I'm really, really happy for that, because I've never intended for that to happen, but it just kind of did over the years. And I also think growing up too, like if your brain develops, you probably just have a better judgment of people and you probably have like higher standards. But in college is when I noticed that I can be so extroverted. I started thinking, okay, maybe that's what I want. And then COVID happened and I had to do uni in my room back home alone. So I was alone for a long, long time. And like, I'm not going to get in the depths of my lore because I'm going to be talking for 3 hours here and we're not here for that. But during COVID is when I suddenly went from having like 3 major friend groups in university where I would rotate around, like, oh, this weekend I'm going to hang out with this friend group and then I'm going to hang out with that friend group. It went from that to being like alone all the fucking time. And I was just kind of going crazy. I'm not going to lie. Like, yeah, like you see people around, you see like your coworkers and like your maybe childhood friends, or if you go out, like your party friends, whatever, but like they were never as fulfilling because they were never as deep. And like it's just, it feels like people that I associate with when I go home. And yeah, it just felt really like lonely. And I remember like in the beginning of COVID, I would really try to like pack my social schedule and try to meet different people and like interact with new people, which I have actually interacted with so many new people. But it's so weird because none of them are like long lasting friendships today. Like I don't barely could remember their names. You know what I mean? Being I realized that friendships can be very unfulfilling. I'm not saying all of them were unfulfilling, but a lot of the new people that I meet through like going out and parties and associations or whatnot, like I just, or like old like high school friends, and we just kind of catch up. Like I never really felt the closeness to them. And I think other things were going on. My mental health was all over the place. So I decided to delete Instagram. Or did I decide to delete Instagram, or did I decide to like stop posting? I think I decided to delete Instagram for like a good old year, like just no Instagram, because I think it was getting to my head in other ways, not about friendship, but just having like really low self-esteem because I'm always comparing myself from people online, and that really got to my head. So I was like, I'm just gonna delete Instagram. I don't think I can handle this. And that literally helped me, like that helped me filter out all my friendships in my life. A lot of like the social interactions I would have is like people swiping up my stories and be like, oh my God, like where are you? We should catch up soon, like da 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 da, like all this bullshit. Well, not really, but it's like oh, this person's going to this, like, do you want to come? And it's like everyone's just like sliding up on each other's socials, and that's kind of how I would make a lot of plans, because I was super active on there and like everyone else was also like active. And then when I took away Instagram, I would never really post my day-to-day updates online anymore. I just kind of like went ghost mode, you know? And that was really fun. Like, I actually really like it. Maybe I should do it again. But yeah, that's when like I realized all my close friends, like friends that I still have today, people that I'm like actually good friends with, would hit me up privately, and I would update them in that way instead. Like, I would send my friend photo dumps and send my friend like little videos and stuff versus posting it on my story. And I've kind of kept close with like my small circle like that. And honestly, I've not stopped doing that. Like, I did eventually go back on Instagram, but I never post on my stories again. I remember when I was like posting a lot on my Instagram stories, like every time I'm doing something fun, or like if I'm like sitting on a boat or like watching a sunset on the beach, instead of like sitting there and like actually like enjoying the present moment with whoever I was with, always in the back of my head, I'm like, did I get like a really aesthetic photo from my story? I can't like just sit and relax, because I want to post something that it's like nice and like that would fucking match the aesthetic on my highlights. I don't really know. Whatever. Okay. But I stopped doing that. And then I realized I'm like so much more present in my life, day-to-day experience. And I really like that. And I stopped caring about like, do I look like I'm having fun? Like, I want all my peers and friends to know that I'm having so much fun. Like, even though I am having so much fun, I wanted that to be on the internet. You know what I mean? But for me, it's mostly like aesthetic pictures and videos. It wasn't like for shop or anything. I would post myself, but it's never like that much of it. A lot of it, it's honestly just like sunsets and like pretty sceneries. And every time I'm like by the ocean, I would post a lot of shit, or like, oh, we went to I went on this trip. I make sure to like put a lot of stories of like really aesthetic photos. Okay, you get it. Oh my gosh, shut up. As I've gotten older and I've gotten a little bit more mature and maybe have better standards for myself, I started becoming extremely picky with the friends that I meet. And it's so interesting because in your early 20s, you always meet so many people, whether it's like going out or like this event, or like by association, and French by associations, or like from your friends. I feel like 90% of them don't like make the cut. They kind of like are like, you're friendly with them, but like you could not even ever call them your friends. But then the ones that do make the cut, like it went from me probably opening up to like 70% of people doesn't make the cut, but 30 does. Now it's like very, very fucking narrow. And I feel like it's closing down to like 90% of them would not make the cut, and only maybe 10% or less would make the cut. And again, this is like not something that I do consciously, but I don't know. I could be so wrong. But I think growing up, I've gotten a lot more alone time. Like, COVID kind of kickstarted that. And then I've realized, okay, I actually really fuck with being alone. I actually really like my own company. In the beginning, no, I fucking hated it. I like would not be able to sit in my own thoughts, and I'm always distracted. And I'm like, what the hell? I'm actually going to go insane. And then I started liking being alone because I didn't have a choice. I was like, well, I'm going to be stuck here indoors for like 3 fucking years. I might as well get used to like hanging out with myself. And then I started developing a lot of hobbies, and that like got me liking spending time alone. And then very quickly I realized like my alone time became so much more precious than just like a lot of friendships in my life. So then I just like slowly distant myself from people that I didn't really feel was adding much to my life. Honestly, all of these things I'm about to fucking spit out is because I've spent so much time alone, whether it's like after a breakup and you're like, I need to reconnect with myself and probably go pick up 3 different hobbies and go touch grass every fucking day, because that's what I had to do to like be okay. And like with all that time, and I'm like, wait, like I forgot how much fun it is to just like hang out with myself. And then I would try to I would make baby steps to like be more comfortable hanging out alone. Go to the beach, and like I love going to like remote pretty beaches that like not a lot of people know about, so I would do a lot of that during the summer. I remember I even like snorkeled alone, which was kind of scary because I'm like, bitch, what if I die? Like, what if there's a high current or the rip current? And I was like, oh my god, I could fucking die. Because I also took an edible, so that was not very smart. And it was great. Like, I was having so much fun, honestly. Like, I found a little corner on the beach. I remember this, like, last summer. Like, that beach was quite crowded at that time. I think it was because it was, like, a weekend. Everyone was on the other side of the beach, and I was in this, like, the opposite side of the beach, away from everyone. And I had this, like, perfect spot for a snorkel because it had a lot of cool, like, sea urchins, and, like, also be climbing random rocks that were around because, like, it was, like, a beach, but it was, like, against a bunch of rocks. So I was climbing up to like a really high spot on the rock, and I was just like looking at the view, listening to music, vibing out. Like there was nobody, like I did not have a care in the world because like nobody was on my side of the beach. I basically owned the fucking island at that point. And then I remember like there was like a couple of people my age that like came to that side where I was at, and I didn't really feel that anxious. Like that was a win for me because I thought, oh my god, they're gonna think I'm weird by hanging out alone, what the hell. But no, like they completely ignored me and I completely ignored them, and it was so much easier than I thought. You know what I mean? Like I think I trip myself out sometimes, or all the fucking time, but it never is that bad. Anyways, I started doing like little things like that, and then I realized actually I do fucking love being alone. And now it's great because I know like certain points in your life when you don't have the most fulfilling friendships, like you can always have yourself. And I think that's like so comforting. And I know like, okay, it's not that fucking easy, like rainbow, butterflies, sunshine, but there's so many days where I'd be like at the depths of hell, given that I'm in my 20s. That's just what happens. I would not want to like hang out with myself. You know, I would do everything to distract myself, and I would die for like a good company right now. And sometimes when you don't have that in life, you start realizing how like valuable it is to just like have somebody there. But I don't know, like being alone sometimes sucks. And like I think about it and I'm like, this is so painful because I'm going through whatever the hell I would be going through. And knowing the company that somebody could just provide is so valuable. Like even just them sitting there and like acknowledging what I'm saying without even saying much, it would be so helpful in that moment for me when I'm feeling down. I think that's what I realize is it's so crazy how every time that I've struggled really and like I open up to people like my friends and I do that, it feels like the best feeling ever. Sometimes like the feeling you get with a friendship, because the way you feel cared for and the way you cared back and everything is reciprocated, and you feel like the friendship is getting continuously deeper and you guys feel very comfortable and accepted by each other. And not just that, but also you really admire your friend and you feel very inspired by them because like certain things or certain traits that they have that you really like and that you really appreciate. It's crazy that like those kind of friendships could just, I'm kind of hungry. Fuck. I literally need to eat. I haven't eaten all day. I had like, no, I did. I had 2 yogurt cups. But then I didn't want to, I was craving spaghetti. So I wanted to make spaghetti, but because the fact that I wasn't recording this fucking podcast, I was like, all right, bitch, you can eat spaghetti when you're done recording this fucking podcast. So, and I haven't recorded this. I've been procrastinating my entire afternoon. So I haven't been able to eat my fucking pasta. Yeah, so honestly, I did this to myself. Like the friends that I have, you know, I honestly think I can't live without them. Like my 2 best friends, you guys know who you are. Genuinely don't think I can fucking live without you guys because you guys are like chosen family to me. And that means like everything in my world. I don't know. I just feel like they just get better and better and better as I grow older. It's because probably I just know what to look for. And I think by spending so much time alone, I learned how to be a better friend to somebody. You know what I mean? Like, I think I started to like look at my friends and spend time with them. And like, I realized that they're just like me for real. Like we'd be feeling very, very similar things. And like in the times where like I needed comfort in a person and like I did not want to deal with my own shit, like I would dive to have a friendship like that. So like I want to be that friend for my friends, or at least I'm trying to, you know. I think I've babbled enough today about friendships and I don't really exactly have a point here. I'm just trying to share my experience. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. This is my very first episode and genuinely nerve-wracking to film. I'm gonna just be so honest, like for somebody that's like kind of shy, especially on camera, I know going forward, this is a promise to myself and to every one of you guys that like this is gonna get way less awkward. I'm gonna be so for real. I'm gonna work on that because me and the camera right now is like we're warming up, okay? Like we're just going on our second date or first date actually. First date actually. Actually no, I have filmed before, so I'd say like second or first because I'm still working up to like feeling brave to do this and also to like feel more comfortable because I'm also talking to an inanimate object, guys. Like well, now I'm like staring at my cat, right? It's kind of interesting to like go from shooting shit with my friend on camera to like talking by myself. It's like I'm the only person talking here and I'm like the only person replying to myself. So I just keep getting distracted apparently and I just can't seem to finish this podcast. Anyways, everyone that watched this, thank you for literally tuning in until the last bit of this. Like that's insane if you did. Tune in for more because I'm going to keep posting more of these. Okay, bye. I love you.